Want to drink a tea?
No,
You should do it.
114. Masechta Shabbos. We were learning Friday morning that it's a mitzvah to change your clothes for Shabbos. That changing your clothes is a sign of kavod. So minayin l'shinu begodim in Torah. Where is a raya from the Torah? In fact, that by changing your garments, it's a kavod for Shemayim. Shnei it says by the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, ufashat es bgadav v'lavash bgadim acherim. Or actually, every morning when they would do the Trumas Hadeshen, which is taking out the ashes, so they would change their clothes afterwards because it's clothes. And the Tana very Shmuelim dechtor derech eretz. Begodim shabishbon kedei l'rabo ayim zog bain kos l'rabo. The clothing that the cook, if you were a servant and you cooked the food for the master, you wouldn't wear the same clothes when you brought him his kos to drink. So that's the concept even in the Torah that wearing nicer clothing on Shabbos is a kavod for Hashem. It's embarrassment. It's a bad thing for a Talmid Chacham to go out with holes in his shoes. Rav Chanina Nafik. Rav Acha was known to go out with holes in his shoes. That means holes within holes. It means it's got to be very, very torn and worn out. If a person has some kind of schmutz on his garment, chayv misa. It's a busha on the Torah. It's a chilul Torah, not a kavod Torah. Shnei kol misanai ahavu maves. Al tikra misanai ela masniai. Those who hate me. It means if I cause people to hate the Torah because of my actions, because of it looks like a Talmid Chacham doesn't know how to take care of himself, then it leads to maves. Ravina Amar Revad Itmar. It's not Revav, but Revad with a Dalet, which is a stain of blood. And it's no machlok, it's no pligi. Habeglima habelevusha. The stain, any kind, even a fatty stain, is on your outer garment. But blood is even on your tachtonim, even on your undergarments. And you should be careful not to have that on your undergarments either. That Yeshayahu Navi, during a period of 3 years when there was famine, it says he went naked and borvus, right, without shoes. Arum b'vgadim b'tluim. Meant he went with tattered clothing, with shoes that were tattered. It's not also. We learn in the Mishnah. Revav al hamardeya, a piece of schmutz on a saddle that you would use for a donkey, chotzeitz. So if you needed to be toivel, the saddle, even a piece of schmutz, is a chatzitza, you have to get rid of the piece of schmutz. It's not any schmutz. It's got to be the size of an Italian coin, the isar. Now, alab godim, regarding garments, a piece of schmutz mitzad echad ein chotzitz. If it doesn't go through and through, it's only on one side of the garment, so it's not a chatzitza. Mishnei tzadim chotzitz, but if it goes through and through, it's a stain that goes through and through the garment on both sides. It's a chatzitza. Rabbi Shmuel af mitzad echad chotzitz. That it's a chatzitza even if it's a piece of schmutz on one side of the garment. So machlokes tanoim. Boy min Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish Rav Chanina. Mardas, that which we said, that with a saddle, a piece of schmutz is a chatzitza, so is it mitzad echad or mishnei tzaddim? Does the schmutz have to go through and through, or is it enough just on one side? Amalei zulo shamati. The specific answer to that I did not hear, but kayotze b'shamati, but something similar I heard this time. Rabbi Yossi Omer, shalbanoin, construction workers. And we're going to see some hold it refers to Tamei Chachamim. So it's because they're also considered builders. So if it's only, or if it's a Talmid Chacham, mitzad echad is enough of a chatzitza that it would be a problem. The shalbur mishnei tzaddim. And Amaretz, that doesn't really care about his cleanliness, it's a chatzitza only if it goes two sides. It's got to be a stain that goes all the way through. And the lote mardas chashuv midosh lamatz. A donkey's saddle is not more chashuv than an Amaretz, so it would also be mishnei tzaddim. And the Gemara says, "My banoin on Rav Yochanan elu tamid chachamim she'oskim b'binyon shalom kol yameim." They studying Torah leads to the building of the world, and that's for them even a piece of schmutz on one side of the garment is enough of a chatzitza. Rav Yochanan ezer tamid chacham shemachzir lo aveda b'tviyas ha'ayin. So we know that if somebody loses a lost object, you have to return the lost object. However, you return it if somebody gives you simanim. If the person that you return it to has to give you simanim that it was his. So he has to say there's a black mark here or there. He has to give some kind of simanim. Now, a Talmid Chacham, if he says, "Oh, that's my aveda," he can have you return it to him, even just b'tfiyas ayin. He doesn't have to give you simanim. He's neman b'tfiyas ayin. Now, to what degree Talmid Chacham do you have to be in order for someone to return a lost object to a Talmid Chacham without a siman? So Talmid Chacham was careful enough about his garments that he turns it, if there's a spot on one side, he'll wear it backwards because he wants to, or let's say if he's wearing something backwards, he won't wear it that way. He'll flip it over to be the right side. He doesn't want people to think that he doesn't know how to wear his clothes. So, meaning, it has to be a level of a Talmid Chacham who's careful about when he goes out in public. If he's got that kind of concern about Kavod HaTorah, then he's a level of a Talmid Chacham that he can get his Aveda back even b'tviyas ayin. Rav Yochanan is there Talmid Chacham shememanin also parnas al tzibur. Okay, there's different gedorim of a Talmid Chacham. If you met the level regarding your garments, so you could get your items returned to you even without simanim. But what about to be appointed the Rav of a community? If you ask him throughout Shas, even the Masechta Kala starts off Kala below bracha asur l'bayla kanita. It's a unusual Masechta. It means he knows. You could ask him anywhere in Shas. Tosfos goes through a whole diyun here, back and forth. What some say it's a well-known Masechta, some say it's not well-known, but Rashi's pshat, we'll go with Rashi's pshat, that you can ask the Talmid Chacham anywhere. Some say it's just Masechta Achas. When you say Sholi Modot V'Alecha B'Chol Makom, that's in one Masechta, and even if they're learning Masechta Kala, Rashi says B'Chol Talmud. So the Gaonim learn differently. So there's a machlokas regarding this. Now the Shulchan Aruch says Aveda Shein Bo Suman Muvak, Talmid Chacham is Makir Bo, Achzir No Solo. But that's you'll do a Shena Mishnah b'dibura v'noig min Talmid Chacham b'chol drochav. He asked for the Talmid Chacham in all his ways, even to be careful about his garments.
Hi, Ali. Oh, wonderful. I miss you, Ali.
For example, you ask a Talmid Chacham all sorts of shilas about stock, and he knows how to answer it. You can already, you can appoint him parnas alat tzibur l'tzedakah. He's going to be the guy in charge of tzedakah. So it's all a matter of what you tested him on and what he knows. That's according to Maharsha. Rav Yochanan, that's a Talmid Chacham to be appointed who's going to be a Rav of a community. But I don't know, is there a Talmid Chacham shnei iro mitzuvin la'asos lo malachta? What about a Talmid Chacham that the community is supposed to pay his way? You have to pay for all of his needs. That somebody who gives up, who all he does is spend his time learning, and he gives up regular business. But that's only to provide him food, provide him money for food. His things that he needs. So, for example, in Vilna, the Gaon of Vilna was supported by the community. He was supported by the community, the Vilna Gaon. I mean, he was not the Rav of the community, but they supported him because he was a Talmid Chacham in this Madrega. He gives another geder, seems to say the same thing. Yeah, wherever you ask him a shayla from, he knows how to answer. The Ma'inafkim Mina, we said L'menuya Parnas Alat Tzibur, to be appointed head of the community. Now, however, now if he knows the answers to one Masechta, then you can already appoint him Rav of a shul or Rav of a community. But if you can ask him throughout Shas, then already he could be appointed Bereish Mesivta. It could be the Rosh Hashiva. If he learned everything, and you could ask him everything, then he can be appointed Rosh Hashiva. That when we said the begodim of the Banoi, where we have to be careful about its cleanliness, he says these are special kelim. That means we said that the Banoim, even with a piece of schmutz on one side, they're already makpid on it. But it's special kelim. Rashi says they're white, and special people wore them, and especially when they came out of the bathhouse, and people were very careful not to get them dirty. So he wants to say Banoim is Loshen Beibani, like from a bathhouse. So Freik the Gemara Lemeimer the Chivra Ninu. What do you mean? Are they white? Vermin Rav Yana Levon of Bonai. I'll take Bari Lo B'Kelim Levonim. Don't bury me in white clothing. Lo B'Kelim Shchorim, and not in black clothing. Levonim. Shamalo Eskev Yek Chosam Ben Avelim. Maybe I won't be Zochli Gan Eden. I'll be in Gehenna. Everybody will be there wearing black. I'm wearing white. It's going to make me embarrassed. Shchoirim, don't give me black clothing. I'll be in Gan Eden. Everybody's wearing white there. I'm going to be wearing black. They're colored. These special clothing that came from overseas, and they were sort of red. It depends. The ones that are red, that's with the overcoat. Those that are white are the tachtoinim, the undergarments. Period. Then Rabbi Shmuel said you can fold your clothing on Shabbos. But again, we had certain gedorim, Ton Rabbanon, and then we said it was machlokas Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva whether you could offer, let's say, in the times of Chazal, Yom Kippur could fall on either Friday or Sunday. It cannot fall in our times when we go after the fixed calendar, because they fixed it, so Yom Kippur cannot fall neither on Friday nor on Sunday. But when they were Mekadesh the Levana al Pi Re'iyah, when they would have Eidim come, so it could come out that Yom Kippur fell on either Friday or Sunday. Then we had a discussion if on Shabbos you had a korban ola, and you didn't get to burn the fats yet, could you burn it the night of Yom Kippur? So Rabbi Shmuel said, yeah, that Yom Kippur has a lesser degree of kedusha than Shabbos, and therefore fats that were left over from Friday, which was Yom Kippur, you could not burn on Shabbos. You could not burn Friday night, but fats left over from Shabbos to Saturday night, you could burn on Yom Kippur. Rabbi Kiva said, no, they're the same. You can't burn not Shabbos on Yom Kippur, not Yom Kippur on Shabbos. That was machlokas in the Mishnah. So Torah Rabbanon, Oila Shabbos b'Shabbato, Limit al Chavei Shabbos shekrev Yom Kippurim. So it teaches me that chaylev of Shabbos could be burnt on Yom Kippur. Which seems to like Ola Shabbos b'Shabbato, like a Shabbos, and you could burn it on another Shabbos, which is like Yom Kippur. So Yachol after Yom Kippur b'Shabbos. So I might think if Yom Kippur fell on Friday and you have some leftover chaylev, maybe you could burn it Friday night. Talmud Lomer b'Shabbato, no, it's a limud. Now, there you can't burn it on an extra Shabbos. So that's Rabbi Shmuel, who held that Yom Kippur was on a lesser madrega in both ways regarding Shabbos. Rabbi Kiva and Oila Shabbos b'Shabbat limit al Chavei Shabbos shekrevim b'Yom Tov. And not only that, if Yom Tov falls on Saturday night, not just Yom Kippur, Yom Tov. Let's say the first night of Pesach is Motzei Shabbos, and you have leftover chalavim from Shabbos, you could burn it on Yom Tov. Yachol af Yom Kippurin, maybe if Motzei Shabbos is Yom Kippur, Talmud Lomer b'Shabbato. It's only on Shabbos you can burn it, not on Yom Kippur. So that's the source of the machlokas between Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel. And the Gemara says, Kishatim Solom lived Rabbi Shmuel, Nedorm and Nedovas Kreven B'Yontiv. They have another machlokas. When you are at home a few weeks before Shavuos or before Pesach, and you make a neder, Harei Alai Shlomim, right? I want to bring a shlomim to the Beis HaMikdash. And you and your family go up to Yerushalayim, and you take your shlomim with you. Now, shlomim is a donative offering. We're not talking about the korbans that you have to bring, korban Pesach, you have a chiyuv to bring it. We're talking about you made a donative offering. Can you offer a donative korban on Yom Tov? So Rabbi Shmuel says, yeah, Nedor and Nedov is craving Yom Tov. So Machlokes Masechta Beya. And Rabbi Shmuel holds that you're allowed to offer Nedovos on Yom Tov. Why not wait until Chol to do it? Doesn't make a difference. You can. You can still burn on Yom Tov. So certainly, Kal V'chomer says Rashi b'Chel Shabbos shenishchutu kedarkem bizmonim, and olas of Shabbos have to be burned on that day, and it got left over. We don't need a pasuk of olas Shabbos b'Shabbato for regular Yom Tov. El Yom Kippurim. That's why Rabbi Shmuel uses that to tell me I can. I don't need it for Yom Tov. I can bring the Dorm and the Darovs. So Kal V'chomer, I could Shabbos a chaylev Shabbos. I could burn Yom Tov night. I don't need a pasuk for that. And therefore, the pasuk is used liyom kippurim. Rabbi Kiva and the Dharma Ravos ain't craving beyond. He does not hold that you can bring donative offerings and offer them on Yom Tov. Therefore, kiyitzrich lo l'mishra b'Yom Tov. I don't have a pasuk to allow you to do Yom Kippur. That pasuk says chalevs that were offered, a korban ola that was offered on Shabbos. If you get a chance to burn the chalevs, I can burn them at night, Motzei Shabbos Yom Tov. But not Yom Kippur. That's the source of the machlokas between Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel, how they darshan the pasuk of Ola Shabbos b'Shabbato, whether they need it for Yom Tov or not. Rab Zeira, Ki Avina b'Bavel, or in Bavel have the Amri, We learned like this. If Yom Kippur fell on Friday, lo hayu tokin. Now, we learned earlier on in Masechta Shabbos that on Friday afternoon they would blow 6 tekiyos as Shabbos was coming in to separate, so people would know that they have to separate from work. Can't work anymore. Now, what if Yom Kippur falls on Friday? So lo hayu tokin. And u'v'motzei Shabbos lo hayu mavdilin. If Yom Kippur fell on Motzei Shabbos, there was no havdalah made between Shabbos and Yom Kippur. Now, like we know that, for example, if Pesach falls Motzei Shabbos, we do a havdalah, right? We say a special havdalah being kodesh lakodesh. I mean, Yom Tov is holy, besides holy is Shabbos, so we make a havdalah. But when Shabbos leads into Yom Kippur, which we don't have experience with, because it never happens for us, now we should know the halacha was you did not make havdalah. Divrei hakol. And l'chor there was no machlokes. Everybody held that. But kisalikna lahasam, when we went there to Israel, ashkichte lihuda brei Rav Shimon ben Pazid Yosef b'Kamar. No, it's not a divrei hakol. It's Rabbi Kiva, right? It's not. It's Rabbi Kiva who held. Remember that Shabbos and Yom Kippur were the same. That's why you couldn't offer the chaylev of Shabbos into Yom Kippur. But Rabbi Shmuel, who held you could offer the chalavim of Yom Kippur on Shabbos and vice versa, Shabbos and Yom Kippur, would say that there is a difference between Shabbos and Yom Kippur. You should make havdalah, so it's not a divrei hakol. Right here, Rabbi Shmuel came and Shabbos came Yom Kippurim. If Yom Kippur fell Motzei Shabbos and you have leftover chalavim on Shabbos, can you burn them? Yes, he says. So litka. So we should blow so that we should know that there is a difference. I know Kohanim's reason. We don't have to do it because Kohanim know the halacha. And they're careful. I'm reading Kohanim's reasoning. Do we really say that Kohanim is rivatnan? That they blew tkiyas, even the base of Mikdash. Sholosh lahadil sa'amim loch, sholosh lahadil ben kodesh l'chol. And it was even b'mikdash on Erev Shabbos. So you see, even the Kohanim need tkiyas to let them know when Shabbos is coming in. So now, they blew it in the base of Mikdash, but that was for the rest of the people to hear, not for the Kohanim. Oh, says the Gemara. So there's an interesting halacha that you have vegetables that have been plucked from the ground. So there's no plisha. Now, you want to chop. It's now Yom Kippur, and you've already davened mincha. It's already zman mincha after zman mincha, and you have to have a sudam of seconds. So the shaila is, can you chop vegetables? That's called nekivas yerek. So on Yom Kippur, they allowed you to do that. Now, why did they allow you to do it? They wanted to make the fasting more difficult for you. When you're chopping vegetables, you're going to get hungry. So there was a special heter on Yom Kippur from mincha on. You could prepare. On Shabbos, it's osir. You can't prepare from Shabbos for eating malava malka. But on Yom Kippur, you could. They did it. The Chachamim did that in order to intensify the fast. Now, in that regard, Yom Kippur is more lenient than Shabbos. So blow the shofar, because we said lo hayu tokin. So if Yom right, we should do the tkiyah to let people know that there's a kula here. Rav Yosef lefi shein doichin shvus lahatir. Now, blowing a shofar is not a malacha, but but the Chacham don't allow you to blow shofar on Shabbos or Yom Kippur normally. So it's a shvus. It's a rabbinic prohibition. The Chachamim can undo a rabbinic prohibition, but they're only going to blow it if you're going to keep you away from Isurim. They will get rid of a shvus to Rabbanon in order to keep people away from Isurim. But to matir people to do things, they're not going to undo the shvus to Rabbanon. But on this issue, Rav Sheshet, Rav Yomar, shvus kroiva hitiru. No, even to be matir a certain malacha, if it's immediate, they would blow. Shvus rachoka lo hitiru. Aval hashtag lo maboilo knivas yerk b'Yom Kippurim shechalios be'erev Shabbos or b'Shabbos lo yivashlo. Right, to blow the shot, for example, let's say Yom Kippur falls on Friday. Well, if it fell on a Tuesday and you could cook Tuesday night, so then there would be a heter. But there's no heter to do it Friday because you can't cook Shabbos either. So the key would only be to allow you to use it later on, so that it would be a shvus rechoka lo yitiru. Did they get rid of the prohibition of blowing to be matir something, even though it was kroiv vatnan? Yom Tov Shechal Yosef Shabbos. Let's say Pesach falls on Friday. Toikin, right? You. There are certain malachos on Yom Tov that are permitted. You can carry, you can cook. So there was tkiyas because now Shabbos is entering, which is more chomer. But v'lo mavdilin, right? We don't make havdalah between Yom Tov and Shabbos. You only make havdalah when you're going from a higher kedusha to a lesser kedusha. But you don't make Havdalah going to a higher kedusha. Now, Motzei Shabbos mavdilin v'loy toikin. Now, if Yom Tov Pesach falls Saturday night, we make Havdalah both in Tefillah and on the Kos. When we say Amad ben Kodesh l'Kodesh, because the kedusha that's leaving is higher, Shabbos is higher. But v'lo tokim ibad Yom, says Rashi, la'avdil da yotzei chomer, da Yom la'asu shum malacha, right? Shabbos is more stringent regarding malacha, so there's no purpose of toikim. If it's permitted, remember tkiya is only an isur drabanan. It's a shvus, and we said for a shvus krova, even to be matir you to do something, you could blow it. The chachamim would get rid of their shvus. Now there is something that is you're matir to be able to do yontif night, which is to shecht. You can shecht the cow Motzi Shabbos to cook for yontif. So why don't we allow, if it's correct that for shvus krova hitiru kiechli, we should allow tkiya then kiechli adu Shabbos kitlauter. Ela machmatek and Rav Yosef. We go back to the psat of Rav Yosef, the way he answered. Which was lefi shein doich and shvus lahatir. We never are doich shvus, even to be matir. That's the final halach. Amar zeh Ravuna v'amilam Rav Abba bar Ravuna. Yom Kippurim shechalios b'Shabbos. Yom Kippur. What about Yom Kippur? We said that there was a heter to do this nikivas yerek, to cut the vegetables min hamincha l'mala, to intensify the fast. Makes you more hungry while you're cutting it, thinking about what you're going to eat tonight. We said that was permitted Yom Kippur. What if that's if Yom Kippur falls on a Wednesday? What if Yom Kippur fell on Shabbos? Is it mutter to do this? So Ravuna says, Osir b'nikivas yari. No, it's prohibited. Amar Rav Mana Tana, Minani Yom Kippur shechalios b'Shabbos shos b'nikivas yerek, Talmud Omer Shabbason. It says a special Shabbat Shabbason. Now, ulamai. Now, what are we resting from? Already says don't do work on Yom Kippur. Elalav kivas yarek. So they wrote this Shabbaton to tell you that there's no permission to do the nekivas yarek on Yom Kippur that falls on Shabbos. Shema mina. He disagrees. Yom Kippurim shechalios b'Shabbos muter ben kivas yarek. He says the regular heter to do this nekivas yarek on Yom Kippur after mincha, which we permit on Tuesday and Wednesday, we also permit on even when Yom Kippur falls on Shabbos. Meisvei. Now Yom Kippur shechalios also nekivas yarek tamadom Shabbos son. Shuas lamai ilem lamlach maksiv lo sasakam lacha. Elalav nekivas yarek. Kash on Rav Yochanan. Lo, Rav Yochanan say lo olam lamlacha. It's also limlacha. The lav or lebasei below tasei. There's a concept lo tasei kol lacha. Then it says Shabbaton. That's an asay of resting. So when you do a malach on Yom Kippur, you violated two. You violated a lav and you violated an asay. Tanya kavos Rav Yochanan, and there's a price to support Rav Yochanan. We'll learn this tomorrow. Well, let's finish. Tanya kavos Rav Yochanan Yom Kippur shchayos b'Shabbos muter b'nekivas yarek. Rav Yochanan Yom Kippur shchayos b'chol. You could be mafatzeh gozim. You could break walnuts and farchas b'rodim and amin cholamala. You can chop up pomegranates with agmas nefesh. Makes you feel worse. They would chop up cabbage. They would chop up zucchinis. Even the chazadav would come a charfi. But they started seeing that people would do it even before mincha. Even Rabbi Yochanan went back and said it's prohibited. So in fact, our minig is not to allow it. That means normally there was a heter to do it if it fell during the weekday. But if it was Shabbos, no. But in our generation, we don't do it even when Yom Kippur falls on the weekday. For everybody. Tomorrow we will learn at 7:30. We'll start Kol Kisvei.
Okay, good work, everyone.